We're back, baby. We are the X-Men. Together, we're unstoppable.
Plenty of tricks up my sleeve.
Oh dear.
We are the dawn that breaks his night.
We're soldiers.
Whatever forces await, we shall face them together.
He's the X-Men's most diabolical foe, Apocalypse.
I will be all that is left.
There we go. What is up, everybody? What is going on? We are back with the final episode of X-Men 97, Survival of the Fittest. Rest of the panel will be in here shortly, but I got two right now, Mr. Brian the Grizzly and Chris Knight. Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Man, I gotta tell this wave cat. I look a little bit too gangster, a little bit too black for this show right now. But
it's all right. It's all right. I contrast that by going like ghost.
100%.
We got a nice contrast to coloring.
It's exactly we needed now. I was looking like, man. I was like, man, if I had a cigarette right here, I look like any other bad guy from any. There it is right there.
You look like, honestly, what was that movie? And I can't remember. It was a comedy movie that Isaac Hayes just did a quick bit part, like some gangster, like with a. It might have been like that, but that's kind of what you look like. It's like a beefed up Isaac Hayes ready to kick somebody's ass.
I was looking like, man,
I like it.
It's a little bit gangster right now. Even with the glasses, I don't know.
See, Brian's not used to looking gangster. You know what I mean? To save that for me.
Don't let the glasses fool you. He will cap. He will put a cap in your ass.
Because
that he will.
Knowing me, I'm already 6'5", 270 pounds. I don't usually look gangster. I try to look as non-threatening as possible, and this is how you get shot doing this. But 1:30 Spoiler Kings. We go live Mondays, Thursdays, Saturday nights. Saturday mornings I'm with Nzo on the Rewind. As long as Danny don't take my damn spot, but it might happen. Dude, I'm so excited. I just want to say, if Henry Cavill signs on as Magneto, I'm in.
That's what you're hearing?
Yeah, it's all over the damn internet.
Interesting. I didn't hear that at all. What up, T1000? What up, Dewan? What up, Tony? Thank you guys for popping in. Much appreciated. And I was going to say, you said you look gangster, and you I said even stopped at the border. Remember, that's what you were when you went to the border.
Exactly. This is exactly how I look. This is why they stopped at the border. Where the drugs? Show us where the drugs are right now.
Facts. Chris Knight, tell me where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, you can find me on the Real Review 3000, of course, here at Chaos Central, and over on Big Foot Entertainment. Find me in a lot of different other places. You'll find us tomorrow, of course, the first 3 Mondays of the month on Chaos Central. Tomorrow's my show. We'll be doing the giveaway tomorrow also. I don't know what I'm giving away just yet, but we'll find out. Do that giveaway. And we'll be talking about some stuff tomorrow, too.
This guy had a whole month to decide what he was going to give away. And
yeah, you don't want to leave me in charge of trying to decide anything. So I'll sit there for hours and microcosm it down to I don't know. Maybe this, maybe that.
Well, I can't pick for you. You got to pick that shit yourself, bro.
I'll have it.
No problem. Said Brian is patiently waiting to whoop somebody's ass.
Just sit on the side, just waiting. I'm waiting for you to finish, bro.
All this Brian the Grizzly hate, love really pisses me off. You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here? Brian this and Brian that and Brian. This is why Brian needs to be replaced from the Rewind. You know what I mean? It's overshadowing me. I'm the king. Like, we don't overshadow the king. Like, we're not doing that, right?
I had something to give you, but you know what? Never mind. I ain't giving you shit.
I'm just saying, right? You see the Big Ford Entertainment? You guys can't see it, but there's a crown behind there and everything. That's how it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
That was for guys. It's for spoiler kings.
Oh my God! Here we go. He said, "If you think that looks gangster, you should have seen how the police reacted to my weed jacket."
Yeah,
You didn't even smoke. You didn't even smoke weed. Hey, what you have a weed jacket for? You don't smoke weed.
It's just it's a statement. Hey, what you think?
Darkwing Duck, fire. That's
Coming to
fire.
you. Maybe I don't know. Maybe
I
not.
like it.
Maybe
I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah, you can send it to me. I'll take whatever you want to send me. Don't worry about it. I'll take it. I'll take it. Said Nzo blows the smoke in sucker's face. That's what I'm talking about, Tony. See what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying. Bigger for it. That's who, the man of the moment here. Me, not Brian, not Chris. Definitely not Chris. We didn't even worry about Chris. Like, no one even mentioned Chris yet, so it's okay. All right? We're just saying.
And it's all right. As long as he's on, he's the man. I'm with him.
It's good.
Oh,
it's good.
my
God.
God.
I understand the hate is real for me. I get that. It happens.
He's stroking Chris now. Hey, Chris the man. I was dating him. Hey, what are we doing here? Holy moly, man.
Just jealous there, Brian. Don't worry about it. It's okay.
It's okay. I was sleeping. I woke up to do this damn stream, so I'm grumpy as hell. All right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
This is the shirt I got from the comment from a fan expo. It's pretty good.
I like it.
Invincible in the peanuts look stuff.
Yeah. I like it. It's fire.
Mother's
That's
a little
fire.
bit more, a little bit better than the pet. And then he says good news.
I like it. But we are here to talk about this final episode of X-Men 97. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'll let these guys go their overall thoughts first, but it's gonna be like, oh, here goes Nzo with the trash business again. You know what I mean? Like, I can't help it though. I just can't. Like, I try, but I can't. Brian, overall thoughts.
All right. So I think they had some good parts to it. I think they I talked about the fight. I thought the fighting between X-Force, X Factor, and X-Men was good. The scenes looked good. What Cable did looked good. We had a little small. We actually saw Storm do something for the first time in like 6 episodes. We saw Cyclops actually have more than a little bit of a part for a second. Jean Grey still looked weak as hell, but we had a little bit of them. I think they did a good job of actually, that's their storyline and pushing that storyline. They did a good job with it, even though it was kind of not my storyline. I think the beginning was good with what we got with Rogue, and who else was it? Gam. The whole thing at her going to Essen, I thought that was good. The whole thing, Aesop, was good. I thought all that looked good. I thought the storyline itself was pretty okay. Basically, I liked everything that didn't have to do with Apocalypse. Everything they did with Apocalypse, not so much. But anything that didn't do with Apocalypse, I thought they did okay. I thought that the ending, when you saw I saw everyone like sacrificing and changing, and I knew the sacrifice was going to happen. I really did. I saw it happening. But they had good parts. I'm not saying it's a great finale. I said they had good parts.
All right. What about you, Chris?
A lot of what Brian said right there. Again, the animation's really done well in this. Even when there's action, the way they do the action, it's done very well. I do have something to say about it, and it's not just against this particular animation series. Might be other animation and some live action stuff, but I'll talk about that later. But done really well. After where we thought this was all going to go in this way, I was like, So there's some things I want to talk about there. But animation, again, lots of different characters. They're all coming together, all fighting each other. Again, Gambit, when he comes out and he's doing his thing, man, Gambit's a great character to have in these things. You know, but basically a lot of what Brian said, I think I'll leave it what he said. I do think you're gonna around at that time. But I know I have some things I definitely will bring up with it.
Mm-hmm. And your negatives?
Yeah.
It got some negatives. It does.
Yeah.
It got a lot of negatives. And I'm going to have to say this too, because, of course I got to be me. I'm not going to say the episode was trash. I won't say that. The episode wasn't trash. But for me, it wasn't good. Yeah, you guys are correct. They had some good things in it. I don't deny that. The sacrifice was good. But for me, the execution, the way we were set up to do all kinds of things and to have them just say, F you, we're not doing that anymore, right? So, and, it'll definitely be a negative. But I just find out it was like a flash in the pants kind of a thing where you introduce something and then you get rid of it, right? You introduce something and then you get rid of it. And I could see where they kind of switched it up. And then when I go back and I really thought about the series, you could tell right after episode 5, that's where the switch up was. That's where everything changed, right? And the episodes were more episodic than actually a part of the story. And it felt like, the onslaught stuff that they were going to get to kind of went out the window.
Real broken up.
Yes.
It did not kind of flow together.
Yes.
It's so short that you can't do storylines, and then each episode has to be part of the storyline instead of being so only about this character. Only about this character. It's 28 minutes. You can't do a fucking thing about a character by itself. I think they did
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You know what I mean? And that's where it felt like it went from building up to something and then to individual characters for the next 4 episodes. And then we got these last 2 where it was just kind of cool stuff that they did in it. But at the end of the day, did it really do what it was supposed to do? And I say no. You know what I mean? I know we talked about it earlier on the stream when we did on the Wednesday, and we were talking a little bit about, the no cliffhanger. Brian said there was, and I get it, there kind of was, but at the same time, for me, it just I didn't care. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't really give us the overall picture of where it's going with this. You know what I mean? We always thought that there was going to be some reveal of Onslaught or some reveal of Apocalypse.
That's what Bo DeMayo wanted, and they had to change it because Bo DeMayo wanted Onslaught. He said, "This is where we're going," and they decided we gotta go over here.
Yes,
100%. It felt like they went a different direction, like you said, Hans. It felt like they could tell where the change came.
Yes, absolutely. I think that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'll wait.
I was gonna say, and I think that's where the problem is, right? It ended up being more like, I can't remember the word I'm looking for. Hold on, Danny just reached in. Danny boy is in the house. What up, Danny?
What's up, bro?
Chilling. What's going on? How you doing?
Hot, man. Just got done slaving over a flat top grill.
I got you.
Bring that for us. Come on, man.
If I could do that, you call me Thanos instead of Danny.
Did they bring out the whip and tell you, get on that grill, boy? Get on that grill.
Nah.
His name's Toby.
No, sir.
And Jen is in the house as well. What up, Jen?
Hey, guys.
Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that.
I gotta switch it up before I get in trouble. You know what I mean? All right, what are you doing over here? We'll put the white boy last, though. we'll put the white boy last there. There we go. All right. So, thank you all for coming in. Much appreciated. It's all good. We got to our little bits of our overall thoughts. I wasn't a fan of this episode at all. Danny just went blank for a second. So, Jen, what were your overall thoughts of it? Oh, okay. Danny, what were your thoughts of this episode?
I like it. It wasn't. I know y'all were saying last show that it did a lot of foreshadowing that didn't come out like we thought it was, but for what it was, I didn't have an issue with it. I like the sacrifice that Nightcrawler did. Wasn't bad. These two last episodes maybe not what we really want to see, but I don't hate the series because of it.
I got you. And what about you, Jen?
I'm with Danny. I didn't hate the episode. I definitely didn't love it. It was not what I was wanting to see, but it's not, I guess, not about what I wanted. I saw how they definitely like pivoted and moved and shifted direction from what we were predicting from earlier on between season one and earlier on with this season. I think it was really, really rushed. I didn't really like how, like, where it finally got to with everything that they wanted to throw into everything because of their pivot and their move. So not that I really didn't like the episode. That I didn't think it was all that, and I was upset. Like, fine. I know Danny just mentioned Nightcrawler. We all knew and very predictable what Nightcrawler was gonna do, but for him to have him like killed off screen without us even seeing it. Beast is the only one that knew it. Rogue had to put it together. Like, there was just so many plot lines. Like the whole thing with Magneto. Like,
I was like, where is Magneto?
Where's Magneto? What's wrong with Professor X? Did X Corp really like completely distract him that he's not grieving anymore? There was just some things, and like for Gambit to die, to come back, to die, to come back. I'm like, and I know they do that a lot, but for them to have done it so short and so packed, and things were not really built. I'm just disappointed in the season overall with the last two episodes specifically. But again, I mean, we're getting 2 more seasons. I'm just nervous at the direction that they're going. So hopefully they'll be able to pace out their next 2 seasons better, since they're not hopefully going to be getting rid of more writers. Maybe they can actually get a solid team. They can actually think out and think through certain directions and storylines that they're going to go, so it doesn't get convoluted or dropped in the middle of a freaking season, which I feel like quite a few plot lines got dropped in the middle of the season, which was really disappointing. So if they can keep their shit together and give us something that is more thought out, like well thought out, then I'm going to be happy again. But I know that they had to pivot, and I wasn't really happy about it, but it is what it is.
Absolutely.
Can I ask a question, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why the hell are we still doing 28 minutes episodes?
Why?
Like, is it? Are we got fit in with programming? Is it like Saturday morning? Like, is there any reason at all to do 28-minute episodes?
Facts.
Let me explain something here, and I've said
or
this
45 or 48. You know what I mean? There's no reason. Go ahead, Chris.
Whatever you want to do it that level.
Here's the issue. Disney, when it comes to Disney Plus, Disney does not understand continuity and following and wrapping up storylines, things like that. For some reason on Disney Plus, they can't do that. They can do it on the Disney Channel. Granted, it's slop that they turn out in constant, huge, high volume. I mean, so I'm not saying it's good stuff. I'm just saying there's very little storyline there. You know, if you've ever seen an episode of any Nickelodeon show like iCarly or anything, or Wizard of Waverly Place, have you ever seen that? There's no substance there. It's just slop and whatever. But here's the thing. When they come down to this, they automatically think, well, we got to do it in the format that TV is. You don't have to be held by that. It's just, if you do an hour, like a full hour of an episode, that means not the intro, not the part at the beginning where they're previewing what's coming up in a month or anything like that, or not what's at the end, not the credits. If you give us a full hour, it's fine. All we ask for is good substance within that hour. Follow your story, keep on track, wrap up plot points, all that stuff. But they can't do it, and they haven't been doing it with Marvel TV series, with Star Wars TV series. It is so weird that they can't figure out. Listen, we don't need to think that this is, like we can just do whatever here. We need to really put our effort into this. Now, granted, change the writer can bring a whole change to everything else. They obviously, and I think you guys even said it, they didn't want to give this guy any more credit. They didn't want to give him any more money. So they said, oh, we're done. And they took whatever he had, put it in the shredder, and said, goodbye. Bad idea, guys. Bad idea. work it out and say, listen, we're going to give you this much. Well, I don't want that much. I want more. Well, this is what we're going to give you. Fight it out for a little bit. Keep the story, at least for this season, then start afresh next season with whatever it finished out for us.
You know, that's why and I know a lot of people say, oh, The Walking Dead fell off. But one of the reasons why I liked it is because they were never bound by time. They have some episodes that are like an hour and 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And this was on AMC. This was on regular TV when it started, right? So they had no time restraints. Now that you're on streaming, you should have no time restraints. You shouldn't have to be like, okay, well, this has to be 30 minutes, but we need to take off the 15 minutes like it was. Why are you taking off 15 minutes for? You don't have commercials. Just make it a straight hour. Just make it a straight 30 minutes or whatever. You know what I mean?
I don't care what you're doing at all. Like, I mean, if the episode needs 37 minutes to do,
yes,
then do 37 minutes.
100%.
Like, why are we had to rush through this whole storyline because we had to finish in 28 minutes. That's stupid. If you have a character, if you plan this thing out, let it be good. Just do it.
Agreed. There's no reason for you to have these constraints and stuff like that. So I agree with you guys on that one too. But what we'll do is we'll get into our positives. All right. We'll see, what we did like about this episode. I'm going to start with you on the bottom there, Chris. Go ahead.
Again, we'll go with the animation, the way they do the action scenes and stuff like that. Always it looks good. It plays out really well. I like the idea of Rogue being willing to sacrifice herself for Remy. We knew that. That's how she is. Doesn't surprise me it went there. That scene, all of that makes sense. It works in the context of what they've set up so far. All the different battles between what you would call the little cliques of X-Men, like the family stuff going on with Cable and Jean and Scott, that little part there. When you got the callback from Jubilee in the dogfight scene, very good. All that stuff that they're doing in this, like I said, little cliques and by that I mean the group dynamics that have already been going on throughout the series. They did a really good job of continuing and calling back to that stuff that has happened, and there's these little inner conflicts amongst the mutants that very reminiscent. There you go. Very reminiscent of the comic books. You got different groups that you see with different things going on. So that was very good. The fight with Wolverine and all that going on, that was cool. Just all that stuff was done very well.
Yeah, exactly.
Those things are good. Those things are good. We're gonna go there. I'm gonna start getting into my negatives, which I'll wait.
All right, Brian, go ahead.
I said it opened up well, right? It opened up. The whole thing, this dream sequence was still with Rogue was good. The whole them going with Nightcrawler, and Bishop, and Beast, going there. That the whole scene looked good, felt good, understood what was going on. I said the fighting scenes were well done. They didn't take forever for Storm to warm up to use her powers, even though she's an Omega level damn mutant. They actually did some things. Cable, use both Scott's and Jean's powers to show how badass he was, even though I don't understand why the hell he has to shoot shit. Because it is what it is, but that's the character, whatever. I think Jubilee, that opening with Jubilee was phenomenal, right? And then it did her going into the plane. It was such a good opening scene from that point. They do good action scenes, and it feels good. It feels right. Even Wolverine, his scene was fine. They actually went through each character, and it felt like an ensemble piece in the episode. I totally understand that. The sacrifice was good, even though it kind of foreshadowed. We understood it was coming. We knew it was happening. The emotion didn't hit as hard as I thought it was going to hit, but at least it did hit a little bit. I'm not going to say that it didn't hit at all. So with Rogue, and you thought Gambit and Rogue could have be what's it called? Star Watch, Star-crossed lovers, was they never could get to each other. You thought it was always going to be that type of give and take. That those are all good things. And then the end credit thing was kind of good because it starts to ask, how long has she been doing this? We don't know. So I feel like they had good parts, but it's like literally having a junker car with like leather seats. Like you're doing good things. So things I can't deny that this is not a good thing. But if I open the hood and there's no engine because the whole plot didn't make sense for the season, I can't deny that too.
I can sit inside the car. It's comfortable, but it ain't going nowhere.
This is not Exhibit with Pimp Your Ride, because if that was the case, then they would start bringing Onslaught in, and they're not going to do that now. They're going to wind up setting up new villains. I mean, I agree with you 100%, Brian. Like, all these things were so good. Like, the action scenes were so good. And some people were mad. Why would Rogue sacrifice herself for Gambit? That kind of defeats the purpose because she wanted to be with him. I'm like, then you don't understand.
You don't understand love.
Like, you don't understand her love for them and their relationship, because they do have this star-crossed lovers. They already are kind of can't touch in certain things. So I got all that. And I was like, Nightcrawler, he didn't leave. He's going to wind up sacrificing. Watch. Like, you just knew all of that. It was predictable. So I didn't mind that. But it was certain storylines that just kind of, like, I felt like everything kind of got smushed into these last 2 episodes because they needed to pivot, and we saw things go through kind of quickly. But I thought, like, the scene with, like, Morph, that was Wolverine, and I loved their fight scenes. The action scenes are always on point. I will give you that. But it does lack some of the character building that they were doing so well with, especially when you think early on in the season, we had these, like, out-of-place episodes that were doing that character building, and suddenly it's like, here's 1-2 lines about their character. We're going to get right into the action and keep it moving. And it just felt rushed and off, and it's like, wait, which way are we going now? I kind of felt like I was spinning by the end. As good as it could have been, I felt as good as it was for the action, the storyline was just lacking. There was things that didn't get answered, and now they're going in a whole nother direction. And I mean, I don't know. Magneto's just gone. He's gone after like episode 2, and it's like he did kind of nothing with that. We kind of started to maybe a little bit with the acolytes, but didn't really. So we'll see. I'm just still mad that Magneto's gone. I guess that's probably another pet peeve of mine.
Isn't that true? You guys agree with me when I say this, that Magneto has been the most fleshed out character that they've done in all of X-Men. Like, if you talk about from X-Men 97 season 1 to this 2, Magneto's the only one that's been really fleshed out the most. So this season takes a dip. If you don't go Onslaught, the season itself is destined to take a dip because there's no Magneto.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
100% agree. Like, it was like, it felt like there was no like real big villain towards the end. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know what they did with Gambit, but then we'll get into the Apocalypse stuff with that, which was like, I don't even know why they did it, but okay, whatever. Danny, your positives. Danny, there?
You there, Danny?
All right, so I'll give my positives. I'm going to go with most of what you guys said. I thought the fighting was pretty good. Storm not having to say this whole monologue before she used her powers. I was like, thank God, finally they listened to it.
Something beforehand. She's like, okay, this is going to take a delicate touch or something. But that's
because of humans.
Yeah, but again, it did happen pretty quick. So you're right.
Yeah. She didn't have to do by the power of the gods and Grayskull and all of this stuff to get her. You know what I mean? Like yeah, you know what I mean. So yeah, so those kind of my positives. Danny's back. Danny, what are your positives for this episode?
I agree with you. Storm, they had to go through that whole soliloquy. I call upon the goddess of the earth, the flowers, the moon, the sky, all that stuff. I think that's just a little bit, gets on my nerves a little bit. But I like the sacrifice that Nightcrawler did. We always seem to see when there's a desperate time, somebody on the team always powers up. I've never seen Rogue in that form. I don't know what they call that. I really didn't know that Celestials had such a thumbprint on the mutants as well. That's a little interesting to me. So I'm glad they kind of tie that in because that does kind of tie into Eternals if you think about it in a kind of obscure kind of way. So I like the way that they kind of connect in all of the universe and stuff. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely,
I have a
absolutely.
question about that though, and maybe one of
Go
you guys
ahead.
can answer this. So, the way the Celestials, we have the deviants, and we have, we have the idea that mutants are the deviant gene. Then why would Celestials deal with mutants?
Or, and I'll give you another thing. Like the Celestial was like, oh, Apocalypse is my dude. Things have to die. You know what I mean? And then when Rogue goes in there, it's like, oh, well, maybe we'll give you a chance. Like, wait, what? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You change your stance just like that. I
And
didn't get
same
it.
thing with Nightcrawler. That's one thing that I had a negative. I was like, Isan, what are you doing? Pick a lane and stay in it. You're like, okay, I'll take you. Nah, I'll take you. Nah, I'll
Yeah.
take you. You can get that. You can get that. I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like
Just
the
pass me out deck
Oprah. He's the
cards?
Oprah of all the Celestials.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. He was the Oprah. And I was like, what is going on? But now I almost forgot that. My favorite part, I love Rogue, was her outfit when she looked like Celestial. I was like, and then it
Yeah.
had the double, it looked like Wonder Woman, but blacked
did.
out.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
she looked so amazing. And she doesn't get to keep the powers, but she looked fucking amazing.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah,
Me,
you're right. Yeah, go ahead, Danny.
I understand what the Celestials are trying to do because if we go back and we just go along the guardrails that they put in place for the Celestials, aren't they trying to create the strongest people so it will feed the Celestial that's inside the planet? So I guess he's trying to. That's why he kind of gave Abenua the powers because he wants that thermonuclear energy or whatever it is that powers and kind of incubates the sleeping Celestial. So wouldn't he want the most powerful mutants on Earth? So I kind of get that.
Yes, but see, the idea is that with the whole, and that's why the Eternals did a bad job, is that Celestials are like the creators. They're these god like things, but they're the creators of all this stuff. Then you have the Eternals, who are like the protectors on one end, right? And then you have the deviants that are like these flawed mutations. It's a flawed mutation. So then X-Men will be like mutants, will be on the side of deviants. They are like a deviant gene. So that's actually someone that Celestials don't really mess with. So my question is, why would he even be dealing with them at all? If it's the first mutant and you know it's from a deviant gene, I don't understand how that works. Like, why would you even be dealing with them? It doesn't make sense in who they are.
Because I think the deviants are kind of like a force of nature. You can't reason with them until they evolve. You can't say the same about the mutants.
Well, no. So what deviants are? They're just like they were a Celestial's experiment, and so like Thanos is part deviant. Like his rest of his families are all Eternals and stuff like that, but he's part deviant, right? And they don't mess with these guys that are deviant, so they kind of feel like they're a mistake. So they don't usually mess with them. So I just thought that was weird that they are messing with the X-Men that way and giving them power, giving them opportunity to do stuff. Why would they do it instead of just wanting to kill them all?
that is a really good question. And the only thing I can think of, which has not been stated anywhere, is if you're going to bring about the destruction, then you're going to have to wipe out most of humankind. And then you're only left with the X-Men if that was the case. And then the externals would be able to just deal with the X-Men and not have to deal with all these different beings. So if you have like two gangs take out each other, and then you just go after the remaining gang, is kind of the idea that I look at it as.
But based on what we've seen
Power
from
them.
the X-Men, some of the X-Men are more powerful than the Eternals. Other than the Eternals can't die unless they're killed by another Eternal.
No, 100%.
No.
But deviants and Eternals can be level wise. They're basically different sides. One gangster, the Crips and the Bloods. That's it's just what that's kind of how it is. But the Celestials have all the power, but they always go towards the Eternals. So I just thought it was weird that they're helping out. The deviants.
I think the Eternals are their police.
Well, they're the creators. They created both sides.
I'm saying I think the Celestials made the Eternals to be sort of the police to kind of keep control. If anyone gets out of line, then they send whoever. It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy.
And you are true with that. And I won't bring up the movie, but in the movie, they were kind of the police, but they didn't interfere with nothing until the movie started, right? They were on the planet for how long, and they didn't interfere with anything. So, and I don't want to bring the movie into this because I know it's totally different than what we're doing in the show. So I can't really say, oh, the Celestials did this in the movie, so that's why. So it's different there.
I
But
got a
but
response to what Brian earlier question was about the 28 minutes.
yeah, go ahead.
I got a perfect answer. You remember on Friday when Smokey Mama sent him to the grocery store to get them cigarettes?
100%.
And he said, "This ain't enough." And what she said, "Make it enough." So they say 28 minutes, make it enough, because I think they gave Bo, whatever his name was, free reign. But when he left, they left the stuff out there, and Kevin Feige or whoever was the showrunner said, "Make this be enough." So I think that's why we're seeing a rushed product instead of.
I'd have to go and check that because I think season 1 was the same amount of length, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if the episodes were any different in season 1, right? And yeah, you can make it work, but what I'm saying is because we all know that obviously to get it down to the amount of time it is, there's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor, right? And that's what happened with this season. It felt like a lot of crap was cut out and then substituted with other things that just, I won't say didn't fit, but didn't make sense as to why we're doing some of the things we're doing, which I'm going to get into a lot of that into my negatives. But I just felt like, man, you could have did this whole season like Bo DeMeo wanted, right? And then season 2, you would have still, kind of went off of what he wanted, but you would have made it your own. You know what I mean? You could have still done that, but they didn't just want to have anything to do with anything that he did. And I think that's where the biggest issue for this season comes for me. It's like no payoff to anything that we built up to throughout the whole season. And that's where I have a big issue.
The total runtime for season 1 was 5 hours and 34 minutes.
Yeah, so they average between 30 and 35 minutes per episode. So they average 32 minutes per episode. And in this season 2 is almost all around 29 minutes. Almost all of them.
Well, again, it is a strange thing when you switch your writers, but I do agree, like with most of you guys, finish off what he has written, work it out with them. I mean, really, it is a Disney property, so you would think that they could just walk in and say, "Here's the deal. Here's how much money we're going to pay you for what you did, and you're done. Go, bye." I mean, I can't see that he would even want to fight anything in court because whatever they're going to pay him is going to be worth it probably, and so whatever. I mean, again, they decided not to do that, so I think what you do is you get in, you say, "Listen, if you're going to leave, sit down with Bob over there and explain how you were going to finish this. And we're just going to have to write off the rest. We're going to have to write the rest of it. We'll get through season 2, finish out your storyline. And even if it was Onslaught, let's continue in season 3. And how do we move on from Onslaught? Let's just get this through. Let's get somebody reading some comic books to figure out some ideas about Onslaught. And let's finish it off, and then we can go off and do what we want. It's like that. There's something to be said about that, but sometimes it's harder to do that than it's easier said than done.
I understand what you're saying, Chris, but a lot of times we got our ego gets in the way. Somebody before us to be doing it fantastic, but we go in there because we think we know just as good. Our ideas are just as better, but we don't have the necessary skill to do it the way the person did it. Now, if someone that doesn't know what they're doing and they want their job and enough money thrown them, then they'll probably copy or use somebody. So a lot of times when we see something pivot this hard, I believe it's because the person that came behind said, "Well, I'm just as smart as Nzo in this. I can do this, and totally mess it up." This might be a product of what we're seeing.
Shouldn't you then not use the first 4 or 5 episodes for Bo DeMeo? Like, if you're going to do that, do not use it. When we're talking about episode 5, we're like, is this the best thing we've ever seen on Disney Plus? That's what the questions were. They were like, this is a 9.5. Is this the greatest episode we'll ever see? Like, that's the questioning that they were at. And then they decided to take a crap on it. And then, the rest of the season, we're like, all right, so what the hell you do? Why would you even show us this if you're not going to follow the storyline?
I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I'm saying the ego can mess it up. How many times does egos mess things up?
Yeah,
I agree with
honest, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead, Jen. Go ahead.
To be quite honest, out of all the episodes,
your mic went out.
Oh.
It said out of all episodes, and then you froze.
Oh,
Okay, she'll be back.
a good one. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, she'll be back. She'll be
Oh,
back.
I got lost.
So there you go.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I don't know why they would even bring in the Savage Land and even do that whole episode because I felt like that is such a Magneto-based thing, and it was centered around that. If you wanted to just do the whole, what's his name? Why can't I think of the freaking? Now he's the president, Nightcrawler, and Rogue's brother.
Creed.
Thank you. I
Creed,
could not
yeah.
think of it. All I could think about was Grayson. But yeah, why even bring that really up? He was barely mentioned in season 1, but from a TV shot, just like in the end credits, they should have just kind of left it or did something different with him than that. Especially because you're not going to bring back Magneto. I'm not saying that it was the horrible episode, but it kind of now that one episode feels the most out of place in this season, which in the direction that they're going in. Except for they were building up Nightcrawler for the big sacrifice. Ooh.
I think it was very important that why they did that because I think that's what season 3 is going to be about. Creed becoming president, starting getting the Sentinels before, and then the mutants wanted to attack him very much like what we've already got in the live action. I think that's where they're going towards, and I think it's a terrible decision.
Yeah, if they're gonna go towards what the movies did, then I'm fucking out. And I love X-Men. I'm gonna watch it, but I'm just gonna be like, why? Why would you do that?
I think whoever picked up his notes put it out of sequence. Somebody dropped the script because that one with Wolverine, that should have been the first one, in my opinion.
Agreed.
He's running out. He's walking out the door and like, wait, no, give us the script. Give us the script. The guy gets it, runs it back to the script room, and drops it all over the place.
Trips
and
and falls.
Shit, what the fuck?
But that's where the shift came in, right? The first 4 were Bo DeMeo. The Wolverine one felt extremely out of place. We all said that, and that's where the shift came in. That's when they brought in Polaris, and they brought in what he wanted to do. You could see the new showrunner was doing what he wanted to do from episode 5 and on. And that's where the problem is. That's where the problem for me is. I'm not saying these episodes were bad. They were good, right? It's just that now for me that they didn't lead to what they and I'm not going to say, oh, well, they didn't do what I wanted them to do. No, these were the seeds that you were putting in from the first 4 episodes. And then you completely switched up from those seeds. And then when we get to the negatives, when I get to what they did with Apocalypse, I'm like, what the hell? That's it? So
He's in a gem. What the hell ending was that? Are you
they
kidding?
put
You
him away.
bastardized his entire powers and everything. You really just made him a I can't. I was mad. I mean,
they
like I
put
said,
him
it wasn't
away.
the worst
They decided
episode, but it was.
we don't want to play with this character, but we want to use him later. So we're going to put him in the refrigerator so no one
they couldn't kill him. Yeah.
I could use him later.
I was going to bring that up. It's like, what the heck are they doing? What was that ending like?
That's what I said.
Look, I made a diamond. Ooh, look at this.
And again, right? The intro tells you in the intro. He says, Apocalypse is the X-Men's greatest foe. Well, not really, because you guys just put him into a diamond and wiped him off the board just so easy, right? So those are my negatives a bit, but we'll get into the negatives right now. Danny, you first.
But before we do it, can I just read Bo DeMeo's tweet?
Yeah.
Read it, because I know which one you're going for.
Yeah. So it says, I've been told that my original launch for season 2 have been reworked. My version had the first 3 episodes being harmonizing story across 3 timelines and explored the origins of Apocalypse and his obsession with SHIP. A world without the X-Men in the present and a future where Cable's destiny is set by Ascani to kill Apocalypse despite Scott and Jean's effort. Unfortunately, Dana and Matthew felt that it was too complicated and it's been reworked somehow because they thought I remember having to argue with her that that this is anti-comics and you're doing an anti-comic direction, and they are harassed and railed against me, wanting to call Jean and Scott Silm and Red Daystream. They felt that it was stupid that they couldn't take the character seriously. This was level of disdain that I have for the comics. Me fighting for and overriding them that caused these difficult work with rumors. I just don't endorse shitty ideas motivated by individuals with badmouth fans and make their mark on the lore. My version was epic. It was going to have a payoff of an emergence of the Phoenix in episode 10 with Onslaught coming into. He also said, in my version, E-Day 2, the Mutants Task Force, like X-Men being banned from the U.S., and so Xavier eager to find his next step of his dream. As rivals X-Force and X-Factor spring up, X-Men were scattered throughout time. He founds X-Corp and to try to rebuild Genosha. He was going to make Storm head of the school. She was going to be vehemently against that X-Corp, and she was going to be vocal in it. That was going to be a huge storyline for her. That was going to be her portion of this entire season. Then he was going to focus on Bishop. He said Bishop was going to be the Cyclops of the season 2. He was going to be the leader of everything. And what he was going to do was he thought Polaris was their mole. He was going to allow him to pretend like he loved like Polaris, find out she wasn't a mole, and then they do fall in love, but doing it more sensical. Instead of this nonsensical thing that I just see you and hey, you look good. You look good. Let's just do it this way. It was because he was going through figuring out what's going on. And with Bishop, now you can go ahead and do Onslaught with Polaris and all this stuff. That's the only way you can realize Onslaught. That's why they kicked all that shit out, because they didn't want to end the season with Onslaught.
Yeah. That's
100%. Which was going to lead up to Onslaught, then Age of Apocalypse, and he had a lot of plans, and they just kind of said F it, and do what they want to do.
That was ego.
Yeah.
No, you're right, Daddy.
Yeah, you are right. For all the reworking they did, them not having a 10th episode and cutting it off at the knees where they did, I think also really hurt them. They rushed and put so much into those 2 episodes, trying to pivot so hard. They should have had more thought and time. I don't know what the fuck else they're working on, but they definitely did not put everything in it. It looked like it was out of spite and animosity. They're like, all right, this is what you're going to get.
Yeah.
We're going to just go off and do something else and come back to this once he's gone. And I think that was another dropping the ball that they did. They should have put together a 10th episode to make this make sense.
It's funny you said, because he said in season 2, Xavier was going to begin to militarize his dream, move them away from being heroes and more to a military. With the final reveal being season 2 finale, which had been cut, that was Onslaught slowly gaining control of Xavier, that made him defy the UN, start X-Corp, and militarize his team. When X-Men realized this, and Onslaught reveals himself at the end of the episode 9, they don their classic 90s costume again, return to being heroes as they led the Avengers, X-Factor, X-Force against Onslaught as he steals ship from the OG's obsession from Apocalypse and unleashes it onto Washington, D.C. During Great Cree's inauguration.
And this is why you don't fire people or have a squabble with a person mid-season. Or you buy them out and tell them to shut up.
Dude, that was phenomenal.
When this guy comes out and starts tweeting this stuff and talking about it, now you got that out there, and people are going like, "Why didn't they do that?"
Seriously, because you thought you were smarter? Because
exactly, and so that hurts your chances. If this survives after next season, if it makes it there, because.
Listen, Disney's been taking back renewal, so I wouldn't be surprised if season 3 doesn't do good that they take back their season 4 renewal. Just saying.
Or they may not do season 3. They may cancel right through it.
And I find it funny, right, that he's talking about all of this stuff that behind the scenes and he had to fight. And then all of a sudden when he gets kicked out, you get these allegations against him, right, that he did certain things. Why do you do that? To discredit him. You know what I mean? So you're discrediting him and stuff like that. So I don't know, man. It was just weird what they did. But we'll get to the negatives real quick. Danny, did you have any?
I want to say real quick, I'm looking at the showrunners. It look like, I don't know if it's a husband and wife team or a brother and sister team, but it's Eric Lewald, Julia Lewald, and Larry Houston, and they are the 3 original creators of the original X-Men series. Now they're the showrunners, so I don't know whether collectively the 3 of them got some kind of issue with him or whatever. But it's kind of strange that they.
But you guys I think Brian said it a few episodes ago, that even the original X-Men series this is based off of kind of went downhill. So maybe that doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it sucks.
I don't know if maybe that's the thing. If they were a part of that series,
might be too many kitchen chefs in the kitchen.
oh, probably very much that.
So what I hear here, I don't know the names you said, but here, following the departure of the original head writer and executive producer Bo DeMeo ahead of the series premiere, Matthew Clancy, and that's what I'm saying. He was the one who took over, and he was
the one doing it. Yeah,
and he was the one who did What If.
Yep.
And now you can see you know what I mean? Like, What If had some really good episodes, but they had some really bad ones too. You know what I mean? So you could kind of see where it was going from
Did he
there.
do all 3 seasons of What If? Because I think the 3rd season of What If was the best.
It doesn't say if he did all 3. It just said he's known for
over,
What If.
I've seen it. He took over as a lead writer.
Writer, yeah, writer,
Those
yeah.
people, I guess the showrunner calls the shots, correct?
Yes.
The showrunners call the shots, but the writer, he's the one who writes everything, and then they decide what they're going to put in and what they're going to take out and stuff like that. So his writing is the one that changed everything. Now, I don't know if it's because of him or the showrunners told them, no, we got to change it. So you could have a good point there.
Bo DeMeo said Dana Velez Eberhardt and Matthew Chauncey both felt it was too complicated, and they rewrote his thing.
Yeah, I don't like when they do that. I don't like when they think that things are too complicated and the audience isn't smart enough to handle it. That shit pisses me off. That's now the 3rd showrunner that's come out and said it. And I feel like you might as well just say, is America smarter than a 5th grader? And the answer is fucking no, according to them. Because they don't think that we can handle this. I'm getting really sick of these showrunners giving these interviews thinking that we're not smart enough when we're the ones that have read all of this stuff. We're the ones that know it. We're the ones with all the collectibles because we love it. They are just getting paid money to do this and that. You don't really see the love for it that they have. And people like Bo DeMeo are people that actually have the love for it. You see them getting into these arguments with people that just want to make money, and the people that love it get booted out.
I know. I agree with you 100%.
Go fuck yourself. I'm not stupid.
No, Jen, I agree with you 100%. It's the same thing as the showrunners coming out and saying, "Oh, you guys are frumming this show too much," and Eloise was actually dead. Even if you think that, why do you say that, right? Because these are the things that have your fans and your fan base going crazy over the show. So even if I'm a showrunner and I think, yeah, these guys are kind of going off the deep end, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell you that one of the theories you had for the 2nd season of the show till now doesn't mean nothing because the woman is actually really dead. I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So
this is something I hate to see.
Go ahead, Danny.
All 3 of y'all got triggers. Black Panther, Batman, and now this right here. Oh,
absolutely. Danny, go ahead and tell your negative.
Like you said, if I'm being honest about it and critiquing it correctly, the foreshadowing is definitely off. So I wish it would have been what Brian just read. That would have been a whole lot better. It's kind of hard to get out your mind once you heard that and read that. You can actually see it coming to fruition in the first 3 episodes. So that's a little disappointing. Nightcrawler has always been one of my favorites. I hope this is not a permanent death. Hope it's something that they can get him out of, or they'll do some kind of time loop or something like that. I would love to see some more Bishop. He's always been one of my favorites, but this episode kind of showcased him a little bit better.
He's gonna be a main character. He was going to be a main character with Bo DeMeo.
I really don't like the way they did Cable.
No.
He was one of my favorites, but now he's kind of like, I don't. They just,
a bully with a gun.
Yep.
They painted him in a very unfavorable light.
Cyclops didn't put him over the knee and whoop his ass.
Yeah. Yeah, that would always kind of irritate me. Son, we're gonna do this as a family. What can you do as a family in the middle of a fight? If you're on one side, the other side, it's always we'll do it together as a family, So to me, I just didn't like some of the I guess the directions they went in as far as the story. But again, this is a whole lot better than some of the stuff we've seen in the past. So some things that you have to give it a pass if you're a fan. This one thing I kind of give it a pass. Also, you muted.
I said, I agree with you. It's not like it's trash, right?
Right.
You know, my favorite word is trash. Not like it's trash. It's just the
It has
the
trash like
tendencies. No, it's
characteristics.
just characteristics. It's just that the shift was kind of jarring. That's the word I'm looking for. You know what I mean? The shift was jarring. Jen, go
I
ahead with your
think
negatives.
one quick thing. I think if they
Yeah,
would
go
have
ahead.
put this in correct sequence, I think it would have flowed better. When you put something out of sequence, sometimes that can throw off the whole thing. I think if they would have sequenced these episodes better, it would have been a better ending.
I agree with you, but I'll say not just sequencing because we're going to get into a lot of, at least for my negatives, a lot of the plot points that they missed off on, and that's a problem for me too as well. But I'll let Jen go first. Jen, your negatives?
Yeah, my negatives are pretty much the plot points. Like Xavier, like we didn't really see him. He started to have like this breakdown. I wanted to see Xavier go a little dark. Like we didn't get that with Danger, that's fine. But we needed to see him go a little bit dark to kind of explain more of like where X Corp is kind of going, where his headset is. But I guess we're not going to get that because they didn't want to go that way for Onslaught. I did not like that we brought in Colossus and he's just gone. And you're just gonna leave him to what babysit at the at the school and like I did not like that part either, and I mean there's so many more things. There was times where like they're just using guns and just like stupid things. I'm like, you have powers. Let us see your powers in the fight. That's the point. I feel. I didn't say this before, but now that I'm thinking about it, the only really good thing besides that is Jubilee. Like her come up in this season
Yeah.
is probably one of the best come ups
Yeah.
for all the X-Men. But even then, at the very end, she used her power at the last second, just to save herself. But her and Havoc have this whole like missile fight, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you
Where's
fighting with
power
missiles?
at? Why are you fighting with missiles? So I had those like issues. I
I didn't
had
have a
the
problem with
issue.
that because that's the only way Jubilee can hang with Havoc.
But nah, but
Power
what,
on power, she couldn't do it.
but they made it a point to show that she had trained with Cable and now could actually fight and do something. And
And
they
and
did not, and they made it a point to show that and like explain it, but then didn't really show her in action like that. And I'm like, why?
and her
Like you
powers
forget.
didn't seem like they were as we seen her powers in the originals. Like Jubilee is dead anytime she fights someone powerful, but at least in this they made her a little bit capable and her powers
Right,
didn't seem so
Okay.
useless.
right.
Instead of a battle rocket, she had a firecracker. Okay,
She has
that's about
fireworks. Yeah,
that's about it.
exactly. Um, Yeah, just certain things that, I know we've talked about it and kind of harped on, but it's really the plot lines that I'm just like, and the character development and the pacing, especially the pacing. I felt like if you go back to like the original series and even the comic books, they take three, more like 3 to 4 episodes to build an arc. And I felt like they were cramming what they would do in 3 episodes into one. And not
One.
even just one. It was like 15 out of the 28 minutes of one. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's like 5 minutes that should have deserved like a full like episode to flush things out, and you could have done so many things. I also feel there was many missed opportunities with the direction that they wound up pivoting to. And like I love the word that you used, jarring. It was jarring, and then like things just got dropped along the way that we're not going to come back to, and it's out of pettiness that we're not going to come back to these plot lines that I think could have really gone somewhere, and they're missed opportunities.
I agree 100%. Brian?
Okay. So there's a
You
lot.
know what? Hold on. Before you say something, I can guarantee you that you're going to say one of my negatives before I get to say it. I am 100% sure. Go ahead.
No. Well, the first thing you should always say is Apocalypse. Because Apocalypse, they did such a terrible job with Apocalypse. They should go back and erase those other 2 episodes so we don't even have to see the storyline at all. Because what the fuck are you guys even doing? I have no idea why you even set it foreshadowed so much. It's almost like they didn't realize why Bo DeMille was saying certain things to foreshadow certain other things. Oh, Apocalypse was never going to die this season. He was going to go off and do his own thing. We still don't even know which apocalypse we're dealing with. We still don't know if it's past or future apocalypse that we're dealing with. They forgot. There's just storylines that they totally forgot to mention.
The problem.
Go ahead,
we found
Chris.
the problem really quick. I think we found the problem. It isn't that they were afraid that we weren't smart enough to understand this. They weren't smart enough to understand this.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah, you are correct. I agree.
100%
Go ahead, Brian.
I mean, but that's just the tip of it, So you have the whole apocalypse. You can't not talk about Magneto. That was a perfect place to put. We talking about you want something to be continued. Have something to just talk about Magneto. He's still one of the most powerful X-Men of all time. He's probably the most popular X-Men, the one you've done the biggest dive on, and you didn't even talk about it. You set up this idea that Bishop was going to be more, and do nothing with him. And there's 4 episodes. You say we're gonna focus on Bishop this episode, and then don't talk about him getting to the finale, and he's barely there. I don't understand this whole idea with Polaris, what it was going on. They just forgot about it. All of the original X-Men were all sidelined
Background characters. Yep.
Fucking season. That's crazy. And they forgot it's an ensemble thing. So do ensemble stuff. Give everyone a little time. I don't know why they forgot. Do you not know what X-Men is? Like, that's
Facts.
just the basis. And then do not give us onslaught. Don't tell us that we're about to get onslaught or hit that onslaught and don't do it. Like, what are you doing? Why would you even? Don't mention it then. It's not like we did it to ourselves.
Yeah.
You wrote it. You put this stuff out because it was good, right? And then you decided, well, we're not. I know we foreshadowed this stuff, but we're not going to do it again. We're not going to talk about it. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense at all. And then if you keep on bringing back the same characters overall, if Apocalypse is in there, why would you not have 4 horsemen? How do you talk about 4 horsemen the entire fucking season and never give us more than 1? And then the horseman you give us is not even a vessel. Horseman. It's a vessel. It's a replacement. What are we doing?
Bro.
Why would we do that? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
And they tried to appease us by making everybody at the finale a horseman for a whole film.
Yeah.
Being Professor X, they're going to be your demise. For what? Oh my God. Again, rushed and pacing and packing. But sorry, Brian. Continue.
Correct.
Right. And then what they did to Xavier is criminal. And I'm not a huge Xavier is a good guy person. That's not me, right? But this could have been the stepping stones to see how he goes evil, why he does use people, why he does go militant for a lot of things, why he does use these children for his own things. Never touched it again. And you see, all we see in him the whole time was, oh no.
Xavier. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
And at the end, he has a 5-second monologue about that's not who we are. Like, wait a minute. Wait, this isn't what you were doing 5 minutes ago. You were on a different.
It literally felt like they forgot what the fuck they were doing.
100%.
And it's saddening because, as I said, it was one of the highest ranked shows, highest ranked things that we've ever seen through the first 4 episodes. And then you just pissed on it, and it was like no chance to not be an A as a season. And somehow, in my mind, you found a way to not do that. Not that it's a C. It's not that it's average. It's just that it's the potential. When you have potential to do something so well, and you fuck it up, it's even worse.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Like asking you want to ask your wife to marry her, right? And what you do is you send her out for massages, and you get this ring, and you have this candlelight dinner, and you're on the beach, and you're doing all this stuff, and then you get there and you don't show up because y'all motherfuckers didn't show up.
No, you forgot the one thing. It's like you remember everything else. The food comes, everything, and then you're waiting at home, going like, "What did I forget about?" Oh yeah, I gotta be there. Damn it. I gotta be there. Yeah.
Season 1. I agree. Go ahead, Chris. Negatives.
Yeah, a lot of what you guys said. And we said it, that Wolverine episode. We were like, oh wow, they're gonna show something, and then it just was like, what are we watching here? And
Got
that's
us on
where
that
we
shit
were.
way too quick. Yeah.
We were going boom. We were going one thing after another. Makes sense. And then the wall just boom. And then from there on, it feels like we're like dizzy or like we got hit by the wall so hard. We're like, where are we going? I don't know. We're over here. We're over there. That's what it felt like. I mean, so basically all the stuff you guys said. But I have one thing I really want to point out here. Why is it that the whole fight scene looked like a fireworks contest? Like it just things blowing up all over the place. But nobody's getting hit. It's
Facts.
Like, we're just gonna throw this out here, throw this here, throw that. That I see that, and I was gonna say I don't think it's just this particular thing. You always see that. It's like these huge firefights, yet everybody's still alive because we got too many main characters in it. Think about an Endgame when they're all fighting at the end. It's like there's a lot of fighting going on, but in general, nobody's dying. They're just fighting. It's like
I agree.
It's kind of hilarious. It looks cool. Don't get me wrong. It looked really cool. Just didn't make any sense. That monologue by Charles, I can't even remember what he said at the end. I'm like, wait a minute. You were almost ready to go to like war and all this. Like you were on the path that Magneto was right and everything. And now all of a sudden you flip around and in a snap, you're like, wait. And fixes everything. It's like, how did that fix everything? It's like none of that made any sense. The diamond, you guys said that earlier. The diamond. It's like, look, I made a diamond. Boom. It's like, how does Apocalypse, even with the celestial power? I get celestial power gave him his power, so it can take away the power. But one, you can't kill him like that. So he can't be dead. I don't think Nightcrawler will be dead, and I don't think Magneto is dead. It's just, but it's so what the fuck right now that we don't know. And again, we've said this time and time again with many movies and many episodes of Disney Plus and other things we've watched, where we will say, I don't know what I'm going to expect next season. And it's in a bad context that we're saying that. It's not like at the end of Paradise in season 1 where we're going like, I don't know what to expect for next season, but I'm sure ready for it. No, you're right now, you're like, I don't know what to expect from next season, and I don't know if I want to know what's coming. So it's the bad context of that. And you never want, and again, the penultimate, like Brian said last week, it wasn't the right thing. This is not a finale. This is a we don't know where we're going. We're just going to wrap up as much of this crap as we can. We're not even going to explain how we got to this point. We're not even going to make it sense to us. It doesn't make sense to us. It won't make sense to you. We don't care because we're going to go to season 3 and act like none of this happened. And I guarantee that's what's going to happen in season 3. It's going to start off. It's going to feel like a brand new X-Men series. They're going to do something, and we're just going to be going like, what are we doing?
The first episode, Magneto's coming back. Watch.
And with no explanation how.
He just comes in the door and goes like, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm here for dinner."
Well,
somehow Magneto returns.
I can't even. Another thing, they brought in a ton of characters and showed us so many things throughout these episodes that also went nowhere. Like we had Omega Red, we had Exodus, we had the Acolytes, like we had a bunch of things like the Horde. Like we got to just see like little things. Why? Hopefully you're going to use them later, but you missed opportunities now, and it's just going to magically appear later with no connection to this. I don't know. I'm really worried about season 3, like Chris just said, because I think they're going to do exactly that. They're going to wind up rebooting it without calling it a reboot and redoing whatever they want, and they're going to just forget about seasons 1 and 2 and kind of just.
I hope not.
Yeah,
at least give us a courtesy reach around and call it X-Men 98.
Facts.
Oh my god.
X-Men 97 and a half.
They might as well call it X-Men 2000 at this point.
X-Men 97-ish.
Yeah.
Well,
Lauren said
they should just call it the millennials, like X-Men millennials. The way they're acting with their little iffy. Oh, stop.
Lauren said we can look forward to our amazing friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yes, that looks good. I thought the season 1 for that was absolutely phenomenal, and I can't wait for season 2. Now, here's some of my negatives, because no one touched on this, right? In the penultimate, Gambit takes Rogue to the external, kills her, takes the gem from her, gives it to Rogue for what?
Yeah.
It did nothing. They go to the...
He was like, what,
Huh?
take this shit off.
It-
He literally
Yeah,
told
Yeah,
her, like,
it doesn't even belong to you. Whoop, and then took it out. I'm like, so then why did we do that for?
No, the only reason why it was done is so that she can walk through the Apocalypse mouth into the temple to go see Isan. That was the only reason why that he even granted her an opportunity to have an audience with him. But Gambit didn't know that. Gambit would have never known that. So when
Exactly.
he gave it to her in the penultimate, it had no effing purpose whatsoever. No fucking purpose.
Nightcrawler
They
got
just
through
figure
there.
out how to do it.
I was like, this makes none of that made
Good
sense.
point.
None of it did.
Nightcrawler
Good
got
point,
through
Brian.
there with no problem. So
And,
Good
and
point.
that was
Yeah,
and that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
part, and that was the part I was gonna say. But Nightcrawler
Yeah.
didn't have anything, so
Yeah.
how come?
And what's up with Nightcrawler not even showing up for the fight? He just sticks around and waits and like hides in the shadows until everybody leaves there and goes like, okay, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to ask for a life. It's like he doesn't even really know if she did that. He has no clue what deal she has made. And
Very true.
It's a feeling, and yes, I understand they have a connection. I get that, but he doesn't know for sure. So he goes in there really for no
Blinded,
real
yeah.
understanding of what exactly
Right.
he's setting himself up for. He could be
I
setting
agree.
himself up for something way worse than death. He might say, well, you know what? I sent Rogue to do this, and she agreed to do this. Now I'm going to make you go kill Rogue or something like that. Like he does not know what he's setting himself up for. So, and again, they don't even show him go to the fight. And then at the end, they just clip to him and the agreement he makes. And then they, like you said, they don't even show it on screen. What happened to him? That's why I said I don't think he's dead. But that's the thing. There's so many things. We're just not going to show it because we don't even know what we're showing.
The only way that, for one, I was really pissed off about that, and that's what I said. I was so pissed off that he was killed off screen. I know we got to see the deal he made, but you're right. There's no basis for him knowing any of that. Rogue just walks out with a brand new suit and a glow up. Like, that's about it. She could have said, "Can I have the powers to defeat a?" Like, he has no idea what the conversation was. So that pissed me off. But the only way that they could possibly, in my opinion, even save that is if Nightcrawler is sent to wherever Colossus' sister Magic, where she's set, and they're able to rise up together and come back out from that. That's the only saving grace. Or I swear to God, if they make Nightcrawler find Magneto and like they're there after whatever Deathland, I'm gonna be so fucking mad. I'm not gonna lie. But that is their easy.
I was going to say
out.
the only thing I could see that Rogue could have done that would have made more sense is her offer the gem and say, Remy gave this to me. And he goes, well, that's not yours, and you can't use it. It says, yes, actually, I can, because it was actually Apocalypse who gave it to me. And you created Apocalypse. I'm going to give it back to you. And I want you to save Remy. I want you to allow me to save Remy. That was at least something they could have written in. Not that would have made much more sense. At least would have felt better. Then you don't have to kill Nightcrawler.
Then to just killing the
Exactly.
girl with the jewel, and that's it.
do you think they're
I
going to
gotta
find
go.
him in the void?
Yeah, I know you gotta go.
Yeah.
I know you gotta go. Right, Chris, go ahead.
So, guys, I got to go. Thank you.
Grades and
Season 3 is going to be. This, because of where it sits, I'm going to say an F. I liked it. It looked good. It just didn't do anything for what needed to be done. I give it an F. And I think, like I said, Nightcrawler and Magneto will be back. I'm not sure how they're going to explain it, but they're going to bring them back.
I got you. Tell them where they can
guys.
find you, right? Real quick, Chris.
Real Review 3000. I'm going over there to have my weekly wrap up, and then Chaos Central for first 3 Mondays of the month, and for other things throughout the month. Also, tomorrow is my show, The Rule of 3. We're going to be doing a giveaway and all that. Check that out. That's tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So check that out, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
No
See you,
problem. Take care.
Bye, Chris.
Danny, I know you gotta go soon too. So
I told him we were running a little bit late.
okay, no problem. All right, go ahead. Danny.
You guys think
Yeah.
that Magneto and now Nightcrawler and everyone's in the void and they're going to use the void?
That's what I'm thinking of. Magic. I think they're all going to be in the void. That's the only option. Like, I've been racking my brain since I've seen this finale. And that's the only thing I can possibly see how these showrunners who really don't know shit are gonna be able to write themselves out of the hole that they kind of put themselves in because of creative differences. And I don't even want to call it creative differences because somebody's creative when you know what's like you have background and resources. Just throwing out freaking ideas and seeing if it sticks to the wall when you have no background knowledge, and that's kind of where I feel like the showrunners are. The only way they're going to get out of this void is by putting them all together in the void so that somebody can come find them all together. That's going to be the only possibility I can see. Please, I've been going through like things that I know of the comic books and writing things down. I can't figure out another way. I really can't.
Especially
Also,
when you take Apocalypse off the board. Go ahead, Danny.
Right.
also too, we say that X Men are symbolic of things. I think Nightcrawl's his sacrifice is symbolic of his faith and religion. That's just a piece of that.
Oh, 100%. I
They're putting
believe.
on there. So that's why he doesn't have any fear because his faith is so strong, and that's why he's not afraid of whatever deal he has to make. Now, I don't think that he would accept any deal where if he sacrifices himself, he'd have to kill his sister. I think that's just a that's indicative to if people that believe who don't believe. There's some things lines you're just not going to cross based on, and that's not only for believers, that's also for non-believers. But in particular, if you're a believer in the faith, there's certain things you're not going to do, and I think that's what they were just trying to show representation with Nightcrawler. Is what
I got you. It makes sense. I like I said, I thought the sacrifice was good, right? It just leading up to it and not making a lot of sense. But to have him do the sacrifice, I thought that was pretty good too. But I just, like I said, for me, you just went a totally 180 from where I thought we were going to go with this series. And that's the reason why I really have an issue with it. Are the episodes absolutely terrible and trash? No, none whatsoever. But I just feel like it could have went somewhere different with it,
They
you
got
know?
bats in Florida. Oh my God.
All right, so let's give our grades, and because I got to bounce too real quick to get back in time to do The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I got to go get some weed. So Danny, give us your grades.
I don't know what Chris. I don't give this an F. I will never give any episode an F of this particular series. I can't give it an A. I'm gonna give it a B minus C plus somewhere in
Okay.
there. For the whole
All
series,
right.
I'm gonna give it an A. It's not what we anticipated, and I'm really mad at the three of y'all for the simple fact that before I would watch this, if I was going in with the eyes of a child, this wouldn't matter. But now you're making me actually think about this stuff, and it's a cartoon, and I gotta think about this stuff. I'm like, it ain't supposed to be this serious. They got wheels turning. I don't like that, but those are my grades.
You know what, Danny? I agree with you, but it is that serious. You know what I mean? Like, this is what we do.
At the end of the day, man, it's a
Yeah,
cartoon, man.
absolutely. To where I'm not gonna be like every day, oh, I can't believe they did that. But yeah, I'm gonna criticize this mother effer right now because did you listen? Age of Apocalypse, my favorite storyline. Second favorite storyline is Onslaught. And I'm like, yes, you're giving me exactly what I want to see. The juices were flowing. And then you did the Wolverine, and then just went, "Eeeh." It's like you just, you shot a bomb. Yeah, you flushed it down the toilet, right? That was a huge problem for me. Jen, what about you?
Yeah, I'm with you guys 100%. Every episode was an A when we first started this season, and I mean, the action scenes are great, but I'm gonna go to B minus C plus for the finale, and I give it a B, and that's like a teetering B minus because we got 4 episodes that just started going down the freaking toilet bowl that just didn't start lining up and making sense. And even in a few of those early episodes, like 5 and 6, there were still Easter eggs for Onslaught, and still they did nothing with it. If you're gonna rework something, rework it the right way. Stop giving me Easter eggs for some shit you ain't gonna show me just because you didn't have enough time to pull your shit together. Let me stop. But yes.
No, you're right, because even Danger EXT, that was a good episode, right? But
They
that
never talk about
episode,
Danger Room again. They didn't focus on the whole point of Danger Room was to get Onslaught.
yes, Yes, because
you needed to bring her back so that Professor X could kind of like enslave her, so that way you could get the evil. Oh my God, yes. I'm sorry.
and it's like you. Danger did this so that X-Men would be prepared to do what it took when the threat really came, which was supposed to be the onslaught threat or the apocalypse threat, and it just went whoop. Sorry.
But yeah, Professor
Good
X
episode, but nothing.
he should have overthought it, wind up imprisoning her to keep her, making him think certain things to work himself up more. But we didn't get any of that. He just suddenly was fine because he built X Corp and everything's fine all of a sudden. I'm like, what is going on?
Facts, 100%. Brian, go ahead with your grades.
I gotta say, I think they did a terrible job with X Corp, or even explaining X Corp, or even understanding what the F it was his plan. I don't think they even explained it. They just talked about it one day, and then it was a side thing, and they're like, "Oh, now it matters, we gotta build it." They never explained any of that shit, so that was just very weird. I think the episode, I give it a B minus, and I think the season itself is a B. That's just it should have been. It's almost impossible to be a B. When you start off that high of an A, you shouldn't be able to get to a B. That means literally the last 4 episodes are all like B minuses and C's. Before you get that, it's terrible. So
100%.
I'm
Now,
disappointed.
you guys gave it a better grade than I did because I gave this episode a D. Right? I was like, I just felt like they did a lot of things, which dropped my season to a B. Right? I thought it was A all season long. I was like, yeah, this is great. And then the episodes after 4 just started getting lower and then lower, and the grades got lower. So I give the whole season itself a B because it's not trash. It's definitely, like Danny says, still some of the best stuff we've seen so far. It's just when you do that kind of a change and you get people. It's not like, so when it comes to From, some of the things we do are our fault. You know what I mean? We read into it and that's our fault. Like shit. But none of this was our fault because this is what you gave us, right? All of this stuff is stuff that you gave us. You were leading up to little hints and plot points to what we were going to see, and then you completely switched it. And that's where the problem is. Like, you can't really just make that. And like Jen said, if you're going to make the change, then make the whole change. You know what I mean? Make the whole change.
And not
Yeah,
for nothing,
make the whole change.
we can kind of excuse ourselves a little bit with From. There is no source material. There's nothing but juice.
Yeah.
Shit ton of freaking. There's so many source material that you can go to and line things up correctly, and they just are like, whatever. We're gonna use freaking AI to help us figure shit out, and that just is not helping them. That's how I feel. I'm like, you are not true fans. You don't know everything. You're just good writers, and you're trying to pull this shit together, but we can see that you clearly don't know shit.
Absolutely. 100%. So that's my grades for that. Was a good season. You know what I mean? Hopefully season 3 is a lot better. We'll see. But right now, Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, 1/3 Spoiler Kings. We go live Mondays, Thursdays, Saturday nights. Saturday morning, I'm with Nzo doing the rewind. And tonight, we're about to go watch Dead City. Give us about an hour. We'll be here.
Absolutely. Jen. And listen, we're probably going to have to figure something out because Dead City,
And
Green
Lanterns.
Lanterns, you know what I mean? So
Yes.
we ain't gonna do it tonight, but we're gonna have to figure something out with the way we do these watch parties. Like
100%. Because I'm like, man, I'm almost want to go do what Lanterns right now.
First,
I know. I that's what I'm saying. So if you can do your silo stream on Saturday early, we could do the watch party for Dead City at midnight because it drops at midnight, and then that leaves us Sunday open to do the watch party for.
Done by then. I'm done by 11 every night.
Okay, so then we'll do that. Jen, tell the people where they can find you.
I need your jobs. You talking about that week time, huh?
Well, it's Saturday, right? So we do it on midnight Saturday. Yeah.
Keep living. I'm closer to 6 than all y'all, so keep living.
Facts. Jen, tell the people where they can find you.
I might be hurting in the morning on Sunday on my way to church,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna get up and I'm just gonna sit in that pew. Maybe take a gummy to help relax while I listen to the word. And then come home. What? God made it. It's green, right? God put it here. I'm just saying, shit. Don't start with me. That is not a man-made substance. Okay.
I have nothing to say on that.
Yes, that's okay. But
It's
anyway,
just
you
like
guys can catch
broccoli.
me. Exactly. You guys can catch me on Nerdy AF. Also guest hosting with Sci-Fi Vision. Actually, we're doing a birthday bash later on this evening. I think 11 o'clock. So we'll be on there doing some trivia and stuff. And also I guest host with Real Cinema Therapy. And of course, right here with Big Afford Entertainment. Loving these guys. And Anzo, who just like kind of went blank. No, I love you.
Yeah, Anzo just went.
Yeah, yeah, it did. Yeah, yeah, I gotta,
Yeah, put the
because
city
You
on.
texted the
Yeah,
phone,
yeah.
making me feel he there.
100%. Daddy, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
You can find my channel, Road to Wisdoms, on Mondays and Fridays. Also, y'all, whenever are we gonna do? This gonna be the slot for the lanterns?
We need to.
We're gonna do lanterns. We'll pick the day though. I'm not sure if this is gonna be the slot yet. It could be.
Okay.
It could
All
be.
right. Also, you can find me on Storms Live, which I'm going to next. Hang out on Wednesdays, and then tomorrow will be on the Rule of Three with me, Chris, Anzo, and Jen.
Absolutely. And we got a couple of giveaways for you guys, so make sure to check that out. I appreciate everybody that came in here and watched this episode of X-Men 97, and it is over. And if you guys want to get a good breakdown, there's this guy I've been watching. He's called Mr. Know-It-All, right? Where he's been breaking down a lot of the, like he was a writer, right? He talked about that's the stuff he used to do. So he breaks down the way these episodes were and what the issues were. Does an amazing job. I'll send you guys the link if you want to see it later on. Yeah, he does a really good job. I like his channel. But thank you everybody for popping in. Appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.